recording.
People would just ask questions. Bound to happen. They've been broken out, but not given parcels yet.
It is warm, isn't it?
It's usually freezing. Yeah.
That's a new trend deal. That's how to save money with air conditioner.
Well, we bought a new one, right?
That's right. We save money if it don't work.
That's true.
That's gonna be in the report. Cut all things back 50% and save 50%.
That'll definitely save money. I'm gonna buy
When
one
they gave
this if I get out in time.
where the gravel pit was at. Where's all that at?
Mom took, she passed out. You know how my child is. She can't live through nothing, you know. Like, thank God Mom drove her.
My mom did that to me. I had my wisdom teeth taken out once, so she drove me. I got done with surgery and they started telling her about it. She passed out. They wheeled me out in a wheelchair and I'm like, who's
Gotta
driving?
drive. Mom said, well, I'll take
Not as much as kind of local.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quiet. Not saying nothing now. Quiet.
I didn't want to get mine till I
Write that down.
I'm like Marcia though, and just said, like, go X.
All right, it's 6 o'clock. I want to call the regular scheduled meeting of the Kingston City Council. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand. I'd like to ask Mr. Brown if he'd lead us in the invocation. Ms. Stockton, if she'd lead us in the pledge of the flag.
Pray with me, please. Our Heavenly Father, we come to you once again with grateful hearts, thanking you for a beautiful day that you've given us on this earth, thanking you for the opportunity to come here as a group to make the decisions that are in the best interest of the citizens of Kingston. We ask that you go with us as we depart here, keep us safe in our homes, and we give you praise every day. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Madam Clerk, you please call the roll.
Councilmember Brown,
Present.
Councilmember Childs,
Present.
Councilmember Griffiths,
Present.
Vice Mayor Humphries,
Present.
Councilmember Stockton,
Present.
Councilmember Wright,
Present.
Mayor Neal.
Present. Now, do you hear a motion to approve the previous minutes as written?
I'll make the motion.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections or deletions to the minutes?
None that I saw.
Madam Clerk, call the roll on the previous minutes, please.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries,
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Neal.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Now we set a time aside for any citizens' comments, so any citizens that wish to address the council tonight. Okay, I've got a presentation. David, do you want Rachel come here, please? Been trying to get this done for you guys for quite some time, but there's everything going on, and then we kind of finally got to the point to where we could. I knew baseball and everything was Tuesday nights. As everybody knows, we lost Wiley. COVID back in November. All of us. So we can present you a picture. A lot of them on council here. Thank y'all. We wanted to.
Thank y'all.
Okay, we'll go into reports. We'll start out with the council. I asked Ms. Humphries if she has anything to report.
Just from Park and Rec, we had our roadblock on Friday. It was really successful. We raised in 2 hours $3,422.95. It's pretty good in a 2-hour period. We hosted St. Jude's tournament last weekend, the wiffle ball tournament, and just to remind everybody, the farmers market is now open on Saturday mornings until, I believe it's, Kelly, do you know the hours? I know it ends at 11, right?
8 to 11.
8 to 11. That's it.
Mr. Childs.
I'll touch on the park and recs. The last 2 weeks had several comments on everything looking good, mowed, trimmed out, the lake's looking good, and it does look good. If there's any questions on the REU report, it's in the city manager's report.
Ms. Stockton, do you have anything?
No, the beautification had to be moved to this coming up Monday because of Lola's surgery yesterday. So.
Mr. Brown, do you have anything to report?
No.
Ms. Wright, do you have anything?
Lot sales have begun for the 45 new lots in Center Farms. Hopefully those new parcels will be on the tax roll for 2021. We also received the Riverline kayak package from UT and TVA. Hopefully, we are wanting to do a little bit of a demo at 4th of July, hopefully launching out of 58 Landing, letting people borrow the kayaks for 30-minute time periods, and so everybody can see the fleet that was given to us in the county. Build grant process. We have turned in our grant agreement. We are waiting on feedback for that. I'm sure if David has any information on that, you can follow up with him, but hopefully once that grant agreement is signed, we can start on the planning process for the bridge-to-bridge corridor. And that's all I have.
Mr. Griffiths, do you have anything to report?
No.
I don't have anything either, so I'll turn it over to the city manager for his report.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of you made my list a little bit lighter, so I appreciate that. Just a couple things in addition to my written report this month. As you know, we have closed the application period in our search for a new Parks and Rec director. We received 22 applications, which is, is low. Honestly, we had well over 100 last time. So of those, I've identified 5 or 6 to possibly interview. Still looking through that. May trim that down just a bit more, but we have a few. We're going to be setting those up maybe as soon as next week to start interviewing those folks, and I'll have more as that process progresses. But that is closed, and hopefully of the 22, we've got something good. We have I submitted a letter of interest for a CMAQ grant, which is a congestion mitigation and air quality grant that TDOT has out. As you know, we've applied a couple times for some smaller grants to address our issues with our traffic lights, and we've been unsuccessful. This is a different grant. It actually approaches it more from an air quality standpoint, dealing with congestion and emissions and ways to reduce that, which certainly keeping traffic moving will help with that tremendously. So the process was you have to submit the letter of interest, and then if you're approved, then you're invited to apply. I submitted that on Monday and submitted yesterday and already got approval to apply. So it's a 100% grant. We've applied for $250,000. I know we've talked about a couple other funding sources to help with this as well, but that $250,000 wouldn't do every intersection in town, but it would certainly do a lot, and we're hoping to put in some smart control technology. From where we started out with the old sensors in the pavement, it moved on to cameras. Now it's more of a radar-based system that people are using. So we're hoping to approach that. The applications are due July the 12th, and they should be awarding in the fall. So at least we were invited to apply. So, and I felt optimistic that we got invited so quickly. So we'll be working on that, and there's only certain counties in the state that are eligible to apply. So fingers crossed on that. Councilmember Wright touched on the build grant. We did submit a draft contract and budget to FHWA to review. Once we get a green light back from them, then we'll submit it for final consideration, and hopefully, which we hope to do by next week at the latest, and then after that, it'll be in their hands, but hopefully we can get that moving soon. The only other thing I get asked occasionally about Ladd Landing and the Ladd Boulevard and the STP project that we've had going for a while. I submitted a request to TDOT late last week to review our selection of the use of one of their on-call engineering firms. They have four or five on their list now. I looked through them, found one that I thought best matched our need, had offices presence in East Tennessee. So we've submitted something to TDOT, and they will be forwarding that onto that firm, and once they do, then we'll get a proposal from them, and I'll have that to share with you. But hopefully that will be a big step forward in getting that project going. That'll save us a lot of time by doing that. So, and that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Does anyone have any questions for the city manager?
Got one. David, that the Greenwood paving out here, or the Boulevard, we're using that old STP money. Do we get STP money every year?
We haven't in a couple of years. I don't know if they I don't know that they're still giving any out. I think this may be it.
Okay.
We used to get so much a year, and that stopped a couple of years ago. So it's possible that it could get refunded, or it may be that after we spend this, we may be eligible for more, but right now we're not getting any more.
Okay.
Anything else?
No.
All right, we'll move on to item 7. Addition of items to the meeting agenda received after close of the agenda deadline by unanimous consent of all members present. Now, have anything needs to be added to the agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to add the Rome County Emergency Communications District contract, yearly contract. It came in a little bit late. We've got it in our budget, but the contract expires, the new contract goes into effect on July the 1st. I'd move that we move it to item G and vote whether or not let the mayor authorize him to sign the contract.
Do we hear a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, call the roll on adding this item to the agenda.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Childs?
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries?
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton?
Yes.
Councilmember Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Neal?
Aye.
7 ayes.
That'll be item G under 9, new business. Number 8, unfinished business. Item A is consideration of second reading of ordinance 2105-1101, an ordinance amending the annual budget for the city of Kingston, Tennessee for fiscal year 2020-2021. Do you hear a motion to pass this on second reading?
Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Brown, second by Mr. Wright. Ms. Wright, sorry. Mr. Brown.
This is just a cleanup ordinance that Kelly has to have to close the end of the year on.
Ms. Wright.
Nothing, sir.
Council. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Childs?
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries?
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton?
Yes.
Councilmember Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Neal?
Aye.
7 ayes.
Number 9 under new business, item A is consideration to award the community center roof replacement bid to B&B Roofing Incorporated in the amount of $167,200 for a base bid and $13,400 for a bid alternate number 1. To hear a motion to award this contract.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Griffiths, second by Ms. Humphries. Mr. Griffiths, do you have anything to add?
No.
Ms. Humphries?
No.
Council? Clerk, call the roll on the roof of the community center.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Childs?
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries?
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton?
Yes.
Councilmember Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Neal?
Aye.
7 ayes.
Item B is consideration of approval for the city manager to begin the process of obtaining funding for identified capital projects.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve city manager to begin the process of obtaining the funding for the identified capital projects.
Do we hear a second?
I'll second.
Motion, Mr. Childs, second by Ms. Humphries. Mr. Childs?
Long needed things that we need to get done, and it's gonna be a savings to the city to do them, so, I think it'd be a good time to do it with the interest rates as low as they are.
Ms. Humphries, you have anything? Council? Mr. Bowling?
Just wanted to give a little update on that. I've reached out to both Cumberland Securities and TML. As of now, TML hasn't gotten back to us other than to say they're working on it. Cumberland Securities has been pretty aggressive in getting information back to us. Obviously, it's preliminary, but it looks like our rates could be really good, lower than we anticipated. So that's very promising. Basically, you know, with this vote, what you're doing is giving, I hope, is giving me the green light to engage one of these two, whoever comes back with the best rate. You know, obviously before any bond issue would be done, it'd have to come back to you all, have to be approved by ordinance, and then, you know, all this hinges on our fund balance being able to support it. So this will all be coming back, but at least this gives me the green light to begin working on it, so.
Okay, and at that time we can, I mean, I think we've kind of identified the projects we want to do in the email that David has sent, so we can put that more out there then.
Yeah, and you know, my hope would be that you know, if we do this, once we get the money, you know, obviously anything on this list would have to be approved by council. So then we could start looking at, you know, what we need to get bids for, what we have state bids for, and we could start working out all those details. But you know, the first things would be get the money in place. So that's what I'll start working on if you approve it.
Anyone on council got any comments? Madam Clerk, call on the roll. Consideration and approval to begin the process.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Childs?
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries?
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton?
Yes.
Councilmember Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Neal?
Aye.
7 ayes.
Item C is consideration to renew the planning service contract with the East Tennessee Development District for FY 21-22 in the amount of $10,175. To hear a motion to renew this contract.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Ms. Wright, second by Mr. Griffiths. Ms. Wright, do you have anything?
Once again, this is a little bit of a Band-Aid. I still think that we need to work towards the process of having a full-time planner, maybe one that we can share with the county and other cities. But this is our option for now.
Mr. Griffiths. Council. Madam Clerk, call the roll on the contract with the East Tennessee Development District.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries,
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Neal.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Item D is consideration to approve the surplus of 2 vehicles from the Park and Recreation.
Make a motion, and we get rid of them.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Childs, second by Ms. Humphries. Mr. Childs, you have anything?
Hopefully we can get rid of some more soon.
Yeah. Ms. Humphries?
No, they need to go.
Council? Madam Clerk, call the roll on the 2 surplus vehicles.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries,
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Neal.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Item E is consideration of the first reading of ordinance 2106-0801, an ordinance of the City of Kingston, Tennessee, adopting the annual general fund operating budget and setting the property tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2021 and ending June 30th, 2022. To hear a motion on the first read of the budget.
Move to adopt 2106-0801.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Brown, second by Ms. Wright. Mr. Brown?
First reading.
Ms. Wright, do you have anything?
Nothing, sir.
Council? Okay. Call the roll on the first reading of the budget.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries,
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Neal.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Item F is consideration of the first reading of ordinance 2106-0802, an ordinance of the City of Kingston, Tennessee, adopting the annual water sewer fund operating budget and setting the rates and fees for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2020 and ending June 30th, 2022. To hear a motion to approve the water budget.
Make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Childs, second by Ms. Humphries. Mr. Childs?
Sir.
Ms. Humphries, you have anything? Council? I'm clerk, call the roll on the reading of the first reading of the ordinance for the water department.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries,
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Neal.
Aye.
7 ayes.
And item G that was added is the dispatch agreement for the 2021-2022 Rome County Emergency Communications District that was placed at your seat this evening. They sent it June 1st. I think we got it maybe one day last week late. So this is for our dispatch work. It's a total of $82,337. To hear a motion to approve this dispatch agreement.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Griffiths, second by Ms. Humphries. Mr. Griffiths, you have anything? Ms. Humphries?
No.
Council? Madam Clerk, call the roll on the dispatch agreement, please.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries,
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Neal.
Aye.
7 ayes.
That is the end of the agenda. This meeting is adjourned. So now we'll go straight into the regular meeting of the Kingston Beer Board. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll for the beer board?
Member Brown,
Present.
Member Childs,
Present.
Member Griffiths,
Present.
Vice Chair Humphries,
Present.
Member Stockton,
Present.
Member Wright,
Present.
Chairman Neal.
Present. Do I hear a motion to approve the previous minutes as written?
Make a motion.
Second.
I don't see any corrections or deletions to the minutes, since they've been about the same for the last few months. Madam Clerk, call the roll on the minutes, please.
Member Brown,
Yes.
Member Childs,
Yes.
Member Griffiths,
Yes.
Vice Chair Humphries,
Yes.
Member Stockton,
Yes.
Member Wright,
Yes.
Chairman Neal.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Since there's no new business to come before the beer board, this meeting is adjourned. And we'll go into the regular meeting of the Kingston Water Board. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll for the Water Board?
Member Brown,
Present.
Member Childs?
Present.
Member Griffiths?
Present.
Vice Chair Humphries?
Present.
Member Stockton?
Present.
Member Wright?
Present.
Chairman Neal?
Present. To hear a motion to approve the previous minutes as written.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Griffiths, second by Ms. Humphries. Any corrections or deletions of the minutes? Madam Clerk, call the roll on the minutes, please.
Member Brown?
Yes.
Member Childs?
Yes.
Member Griffiths?
Yes.
Vice Chair Humphries?
Yes.
Member Stockton?
Yes.
Member Wright?
Yes.
Chairman Neal?
Aye.
7 ayes.
Now, do we have any citizens that wish to appear before the Water Board? Seeing none, we'll go straight into the Utility Director's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a couple of things real quick, in addition to my written report. We got a call, and I bring this up in case any of you got a call or you get an email about it. We got a call from TDEC on Friday, response, to a complaint from a neighbor about a sewer leak. And, we went out, took a look at that, and finally made contact with the property owner, went ahead and, began those conversations, and upon more investigation, found out it was actually a water leak, and not a sewer leak. So that's in the process of being repaired today. I've notified TDEC about that, but just wanna let you all know in case you had gotten anything on that, that it was not a sewer leak thing. Only other thing I have, just a continuation, you know, Kevin and I are still working on looking at possible ideas for some of the stimulus funds that we have coming. I know that Mayor and I were in a meeting, late last week discussing something about that, and also to continue on our conversation from the workshop, I have reached out to Wattsboro Utility District to try to set up a meeting, to have those conversations. I haven't heard anything back, as of tonight, but I'll let you know when we get that set up, if any of you want to be in on that conversation. So hopefully between all of that, as these funds start coming in, we'll have some good ideas for you to consider. So we'll be working on that. That's all I really have unless you have any questions.
Does anyone have any questions for the Utility Director? Seeing none, is there anything else to bring before the Water Board tonight? Okay, I've got one.
Uh-oh.
And I meant to bring it up Tuesday night, and it completely slipped my mind. Had not several calls, but a few calls about people filling up swimming pools in our policy about non-adjustments. What do you guys, how do you guys feel about that, about, you know, like swimming pools adjustments? I know, I think, David, you might have had one call or two about it.
We've had a couple. One of them we were able to resolve. Turns out that customer actually already had an irrigation meter installed. Wasn't using it, but he had it, so that was a quick, easy fix on that. You know, that's the best option for people that, you know, we're telling folks, because those don't incur sewer costs. Obviously, there's no upfront cost to do that, but, you know, if you have a pool or a garden you're gonna be watering every year long term, you know, it'll more than pay for itself. But that's really the only option we have on the table. But those are the two complaints that I've gotten. Now, they may have gotten some more downstairs, but that's, you know, whether it be for pools or water or whatever, provide the people, that's the easiest way to get around.
Now, isn't, for an irrigation tap, isn't there a tap fee associated with that too? Hmm.
$50 annual cross connection.
And there would be a fee. I don't know off the top of my head what the upfront fee would be, you know, to have the meter hooked up and all that. But, you know, again, it's long term. It's something you're gonna be doing every single year. You know, it would more than pay for itself.
I mean, I don't, and having owned the pool, I understand every year you have to fill it up, but now if somebody completely drains it, puts a new liner in and fills it up with 40,000 gallons or something, I can understand that. And I wanted to bring it to the board to see if there was anything, anybody had an idea that we might want to bring that back and put it back in our policy.
Michelle, did you say that's a $50 annual fee?
It's just once a year. What
That's
year,
not the only cost.
It's not the only cost.
no, you still pay for your
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, but there's an
Irrigation.
annual fee just for that
You
permit.
gotta pay for the tap and all that stuff too. It's a separate meter and stuff.
Yes, you gotta pay for the front cost, but after that.
$15,
Then it's a
$1,600.
$50 annual fee.
Yeah, that's what
I mean, that's, But just to fill
It's
up
like
the pool
$10
once
a
year.
month, even if you don't use anything though, I think's what I was told.
There is a minimum bill on it, but, you know, again, it's a way for, and this gentleman, like I said, he happened to have one, I guess a previous property owner, somebody that lived in them, but, you know, we've had people that have used them for gardens and watering their lawns and stuff for years, but, you know, it's also, you know, a good idea if you're gonna use a lot of water for a swimming pool.
Right.
Can we
Just to
get a,
add, he did get that, plumb in this past weekend and it worked out great.
can we get a price breakdown of what it costs to install, one? I have a pool myself, so I would love to know that information.
It's in your budget book on your rate sheet, I mean, all the fees are in there, but we can get you, we can get you an estimate. The only thing that wouldn't have would be the materials, but we can get you an estimate.
Okay.
And well, we can hold off and put this off till July and talk about it then. I'll remember to bring it up.
You want my opinion
Yes,
before we
sir,
go?
absolutely.
Not for changing anything. Again, we brought that up and I pointed it out on what page it was on. That everybody needed to read and look at what was going to happen when we passed that. If we change it again, it's just like every other thing that we've passed. Somebody complains and we come back and change it 2 months later. We had public hearings on it. We had first and second readings on it. I'm not going to vote to change it.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Is there anything else to bring before the water board tonight? All right, this meeting is adjourned.
Well, I'm starting to wonder because